All right, all right. LDWMMAC. This is your boy, Coach Sheldon Harrison. You're live on the Coach Sheldon Harrison Combat Sports Show Live. Okay, guys, I just, sat and watched an interview, with Ariel Helwani, okay, and Scott Coker. I watched this interview, and I'm going to tell you guys something, man. I'm going to tell you guys something very, telling. Scott Coker, he's probably one of the better promoters in the game, okay? And I'm talking about MMA, boxing. I think Scott Coker, he's one of the better promoters in the game. And I'm going to tell you why he is, okay? See, here's some things, man, that I learned and really discovered about Scott Coker after this whole interview. Like, number one, okay, so Scott's, pretty much, Ariel is asking Scott, how much is the deal worth? And, how do you know? How do you know that this is the largest deal in MMA history, and women's MMA history? And Scott said, well, we did research. We researched, okay? And when he said we, Scott Coker got people on staff to do research about these kind of things, man. Okay, he's got people that does the research on these kind of things. And, they came up with, listen, ain't no deals being offered like this. Ain't no deals. There are no deals being offered like this. And this, man, Scott Coker done been around for darn near 3 decades, man. He know, okay? He know about what deal's going down. That they know all of this, okay? So he said, well, we went back and did the research. And Ariel was like, well, how much? And, Scott said, listen, I'm not going to talk about that. Number one, a good promoter, they're not going to put, their clients, they're not going to put them out there. They're not going to put their business out there. They're just not going to do it. Now, I guess if Chris Cyborg want to do that, Scott Coker probably won't care about that. But for the most part, Scott Coker ain't telling Chris business. And then he asked Ariel asked him, hey, man, so how many fights is it going to be? Scott wouldn't tell that. Scott said, listen, he said the deal is good enough to where 3 or 4 years from now, Chris Cyborg want to retire here, she can. So, that's usually between 6 to 8 fights, okay? Where Chris will probably be fighting maybe twice a year, okay? 2 to 3 times a year is probably what she'll be fighting. And that's what Chris wanted. She didn't want to fight once a year. Like, that was crazy, man. That was crazy, that deal. And people are still like, well, Chris should have just took the low ball offer. She should have took the low ball offer and fought Amanda Nunes, because, and then too, hang on a thing too about that low ball offer, okay? It was uncertain when she would fight Nunes. It was uncertain. And, it's like, okay, you sign a 6-fight deal. Okay, you fight once a year. And you don't even know if the first fight on your contract will be against Amanda Nunes. See, they don't tell y'all this. They're not telling y'all all this. They ain't telling you nothing, man. But, that's what it is. And, who's going to do that? Well, Chris need to take a low ball offer. That's why some of you dudes, that's why y'all stay broke. You're going to tell a multi-millionaire to take a low ball offer. And, and I always tell people, it's like you going to your job. If your boss walked in, and even though you love your job, even though Chris loved to fight, your boss walk in and say, listen, are you making, listen, we're paying you $40 an hour. We got to drop your rate down to $12 an hour. Listen, I know you love this job, so $12 an hour. Listen, it's pretty good, and we're letting you work here. What would you do? What would you do if that were you and you were in that situation at your job, and your job literally came at you and said, we're going to pay you less and you lucky to be here? Well, that's what Chris Cyborg's job told her. So it's like, you won't do that, but you expect Chris to do that. Like, y'all stupid. There's a business. It is, guys, and as much as I hate to say it, I'm a fan. There's a business to this. And unfortunately, Dana White didn't care about Chris' legacy. He didn't care about Amanda's legacy. He didn't care about no legacies. Okay? The man let the hatred. He let that hatred. And dude, we know that this what this is, man. It's pure hatred, man. There's nothing else you can say about this. And even too, let me tell you something, man, what makes Scott Coker really, really good, man. I'm going to tell you what makes him a good promoter. Ariel Helwani asked Scott about those videos. I said, whoop. I said, boy, it's finna get ugly now. Scott Coker straight up said, I ain't even seen them videos. I said, God dog, Scott Coker done told a lie. Scott done told a lie. We know darn well Scott done seen them videos. Scott, stop lying. Stop lying, Scott. We know you seen them videos. Everybody seen them videos, man. We all seen the videos, Scott. What you lying for? Everybody and their mama seen them darn videos. Scott said, I ain't seen the videos. then you know what he said? And then I got him. I said, yep, I know he's seen him. And Scott said, well, hey, I just really don't care. I said, good. Spoken like a true promoter. Scott said, man, I ain't caring about them videos. That was it. That's all I needed to know about Scott Coker. Scott Coker, like, look, that's his person. That's his charge. He's gonna do whatever he got to do to keep his income flow in a positive light. It would be stupid for him to come on national TV, okay? It'd be stupid for Scott to come on national TV and say, well, I'm a little pissed off. Yeah, well, that was pretty poor taste by Chris, but, Scott, like, I ain't see them videos. But look, it's business. He said what he had to say. Scott probably hated the idea that they did that. He probably don't, but he ain't gonna say it. He might tell his wife at home, when he at home, eating. Hey, baby, that was stupid by Chris, but he is not gonna let you know that. Scott said, "Oh, I don't care about that." So I mean, it is what it is, man. That's why Scott Coker is a G. That's why he a G. Scott Coker is a G. And Scott Coker gonna keep the show going. He gonna keep the show going. Then he was saying, hey, he might even sign Kat Zingano. He said, they're interested in Kat Zingano, and that'll be something because the 145-pound division will be formidable then. And you gotta imagine Kat not gonna want to go to the bantamweight division at Bellator because there are not a lot of fighters in the bantamweight division at Bellator. So Kat not gonna want to do that. She's gonna want to fight at 145 where the smoke is. And well, I don't know, man. I kind of advise against that, man. I advise against that. I don't even know why in her right mind Kat Zingano would even want to continue fighting, man. It just don't make any sense. But I just shake my head, man. I just shake my head, because Kat might get brutally knocked out in Bellator, man. It just might happen. But you know what? It is what it is, man. Scott Coker's a boss. He's a G, okay? He's a G, and Scott Coker just, look, checkmate. Checkmate. And you know what's going to happen, too? You're going to have a lot of people, man, that don't like that's disgruntled at the UFC, man. And, sometimes fighters, they get tired of going in there, man, going in these cages. They're putting their lives on the line. These people, they injured. It don't even matter who you are. You injured. After every fight, you got to go get surgeries, your knees, your back. You breaking jaws, breaking noses. Then to get out of the octagon, then to have somebody, some bald-headed jerk who, he definitely exploiting you. And everybody know he is, but, people, they allow themselves to be exploited because, they can't, this is what they do. This is their livelihood. They can't do anything else. They can't get, and they feel trapped. So they continue to be exploited by a guy. You go in there and you fight your heart out, and then you got your promoter, your boss, the guy that you want to respect. You got him just dogging you out. And some fighters get tired of that, man. They get tired of that, man. And after a while, the back and forth show, Dana White need to go. Like, for real, Dana White need to go. They need to get him out of there, man, because it's to a point now where the environment is very toxic. It's very toxic. And, people like, well, he tell it like it is. Yeah, on certain fighters. He tell it like it is on certain fighters, man. But, it's just like, and everybody that leave the UFC, most of them that leave and go and do their own thing, they're doing better. Like, they're doing better. They're doing better than where they were at when they were at the UFC. And it's like, there's a reason. It's a place, it's an environment that you feel successful in outside the UFC. And everybody don't have that feeling. I mean, there's fighters who, in their mind, they wish, man, dang. They're in their head thinking, I wish there's something else I can do. Or I wish there's somewhere else I can go to get a payday comparable. Well, I don't know, man. If you're a female, Scott Coker probably might be an option somewhere down the road. Because I told y'all about that Viacom money. I tried to tell y'all about it. But, people ain't want to listen to that either. And then I sit here and I think, why is it that, people always want General Africa and myself to just come by and say, oh, you guys are wrong. You need to admit when you're wrong. But, and it's amazing. People don't want to even admit when they're wrong. Like, when I was talking about Viacom, people totally people totally just, really disregarded the Viacom. All that. People disregarded that when I talked about it. People totally disregarded it. And what, come to find out, what I was saying was the absolute truth. The Viacom is legit. And I told y'all I knew about Viacom. But, I guess when I say it, I don't know what I'm talking about. So, we always got to, that's fine. We always got to disregard it. I'm good. I'm good with that because it feels good to be correct about this whole deal. And Scott Coker is what a promoter should be doing. This is what promoters do. Okay, this is what they do. This is how you see. This is how you turn a negative into a positive with that video. Scott say I ain't see it. Oh man, I don't know, P. I got another video coming. I got more smoke coming. It's your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done. What are you waiting on? Subscribe to the best women's MMA platform on YouTube.